So match each of the four lines with a line that is perpendicular to it. Okay, so go back to question 1 if you hadn't watched the video on my explanation of how I remember perpendicular lines. Let's see if in key terms it has it. So perpendicular lines says two lines that intersect to form a right angle. Okay, it's not giving us any relationship about the slope. So this is how I remember perpendicular slopes. So I'm going to first identify my slope. It's 5/6. So then a perpendicular line would be 6/5. So I flipped this fraction, 6/5. That's called a reciprocal. And then since this slope was positive, the perpendicular slope would be negative. It would be an opposite sign. So I'm looking for an equation that has y equals -6/5 x. And it doesn't matter what the y-intercept is because we're only concerned about slopes for perpendicular lines. So I'm looking for a -6/5. So y equals -6/5 x. That's how I would answer this. So then again, I'm looking for my slope, which is the text attached to the x. So that's -5/6. So flip it. So it'd be 6/5. Since this is negative, this one would be positive. So again, this would be a 6/5 x. So y equals 6/5 x. And then for the next one, it says y equals -7/4. So x, so -7/4 is our slope. So flip it, make it a reciprocal. So 4/7. Make it an opposite sign, so it's positive. So I'm looking for a y equals 4/7 x. Y equals 4/7 x plus sign. So then on this one, the slope, since it's attached to the x, is 7/4. So flip it, do the reciprocal, so 4/7. And since this one's positive, the perpendicular slope will be negative. So then I'm looking for a y equals -4/7 x. And that's how I would go through and answer this question. I would just flip it, make it that reciprocal, and then make sure the signs are opposites.